welcome back to Project 30. In this episode, I'm going to be showing you guys a bit of footage from another trip I recently took in June, which was to Canada. I got to see Toronto as well as Niagara Falls for a little bit on the way back, but Toronto was where I spent most of the time, and I was definitely surprised by, and I would rank it as one of the better cities I have been to personally. I was kind of expecting it to be like a Canadian version of Houston or Chicago, very industrial and oriented towards careers, but it's actually more reminiscent of Paris than any place I've been to because it's got a pretty big French influence. And I was definitely surprised, pleasantly surprised by the diversity there, and I got to see a couple memorable sights even though it was over a long weekend. I would definitely do this trip again, but I do it with a few modifications. For example, I'd likely spend a little more time in Niagara Falls because, as you'll see here, I was on my way back to Syracuse, so I didn't really get to see it for very long, but I still enjoyed actually getting to see that area in person. And so without further ado, here you go. Alright, so here I am at the Sandman Hotel in Mississauga for my Toronto trip. It's really nice for a pretty good price. And I was lucky enough to actually get put on the very top floor of the building. You can already see a great view out this window here.
Please stand clear of the door.
The next station is Keele Station.
Casa Loma was included as part of my Toronto City Pass that I bought to save money sightseeing. I'm glad I spent a couple hours here because it's actually a very interesting castle mansion on a hill in downtown Toronto. It's got a really interesting history behind it, and it's even been used in some movies for a castle prop. Ontario Museum was another highlight of my visit to Toronto, and although it is focused much more on art than science, nevertheless has a lot of really interesting collections in it that I really enjoyed seeing. My favorite room though was probably this Gems and Rocks exhibit, which easily rivals the one they've got at the Houston Museum of Natural Science. This Egypt section was also really cool as well. Finally, it was time for the most difficult part of any visit to a museum, the gift shop. Here's what I ended up getting for my souvenir. Pretty, isn't it?
Okay, so it looks like 10 minutes to go up this way, the southeast view. If you're going to 360 restaurant, your stop will be the second one. If you're going to the function, your stop will be first. So please exit your appropriate stops, okay?
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
The restaurant is in which floor?
Second
stop. Okay. Thank you.
No.
the top of the CN Tower, you get absolutely jaw-dropping views in every direction, but you've got to be willing to battle some crowds to get them.
Gonna do it now. Don't wait and live it today. The prime time of your life. Gonna do it now. Don't wait and live it today. The prime time of your life. Gonna do it now. Don't wait and live it today. The prime time of your life. Gonna do it now. Don't wait and live it today. The prime time of your life. The prime time of your life. The prime time of your life.
And of course, no visit to Ontario would be complete without a visit to the Canadian side of Niagara Falls.